again on Southeast Texas Weekly, talking gun control in America. Southeast Texans are really into this issue. We've seen this over and over again in our polling all around the area. Jim Brady, the former Ronald Reagan staffer, says the President Barack Obama told him he was working on strict gun controls for America, but that it was being presented under the radar. Do you believe it? And we go to Jeffrey Lewis, Republican activist, to answer that.
Well, it's certainly possible that, you know, he may be doing a lot of this under the radar, because a lot of what the administration tries to do in terms of legislation per se is actually done through the bureaucracy and administrative purposes. So when they talk about, well, we need this done, they're not going through Congress, they're just simply going through the administrative branches.
It's under the radar? We go to Godfrey Leggett, Democratic activist. It's under the radar?
Well, he's at the present time, he's just trying to get the current laws properly enforced and get immediate background checks for purchases.
So far, nothing's really been done that we know of, right?
Well, I mean, he hasn't yet, but I have to admit, Mr. Obama's probably anti-gun, you know.
What does Mr. Obama have in mind for America?
Well, I don't know, because you see every other country where this has been done, like in England and in Canada, they said, oh, well, you have to register all your guns. We're not going to take them from you. And then, well, we have to get the really bad ones from you. We'll let you have the old shotgun that your great-great-grandfather had. And then one day they came along and said, well, we're going to pick them all up and destroy them.
We'll pick them all up.
Guns. And this is what gun owners are afraid of, you know.
Is that what the president has in mind?
I don't know. I don't like that idea. I think that the Second Amendment means exactly what it says.
Do you think the left of the party will push him to do something like that?
I don't think gun owners in this country will allow that to happen. They'll rise up like crazy.
Should Rick Perry run for president of the United States?
Well, that's, of course, you know, up to him, but, you know, could he make a very good candidate, and could he very well win in the primaries? And that's, I think that's absolutely the case.
You think he could win?
I think he could win. He feels a very interesting niche, and I think he alluded to in the previous segment that the South is missing a horse in this race. And with the withdrawal from, or the refusal to run from Mitch Daniels and Mike Huckabee, you have a very interesting pair that's all of a sudden is voided out. Mike Huckabee being the religious right and the Southerner in the race, and Mitch Daniels being the strong governor, the fiscal stalwart here. Rick Perry has a very good case to make, because Texas is #1 state in job creation, and that's what this race is going to ultimately be about.
That is an interesting point as well.
But the job creation is due to our industry here, and not Rick Perry's efforts, I think.
You know,
and I wish Rick Perry would run, because the Democrats need all the help they can get.
You wish
Democrats
he would
do
run.
need all help to get, but you're not going to get that from Rick Perry, I'm afraid.
Do you believe that President Obama could beat Rick Perry?
Oh, absolutely.
You think he could?
Godfrey thinks that Obama's going to beat everybody.
No, there's credible candidates out there.
Yeah, I think there are. I think Rick Perry will ultimately be a credible candidate if he decides to run and wins the primary. But I think there's several other names that still need to be mentioned as far as the primary goes. It's not a lock that should Perry get in a race, but I think it'd be. I could think he'd be a Final Four.
Sarah Palin and Rick Perry would be a gift to the Democrats.
Sarah Palin as well, because a 2-hour feature-length movie is set to premiere in Iowa, a primary state, in June, covering Sarah Palin. Some say it will propel her into national prominence
in
America.
To Arizona.
She's been to Arizona.
Because there's so much support, I guess, for her.
I don't want to say she's not running, because watch, she'll run in a few weeks and I'll have to eat that one, but I still don't believe she's running personally.
Still don't see her running
I
for
still
president.
think that there's a lot going on that I think she's doing. I think up to this point it's kind of been
making so much money.
I think it's financial related.
We have to ask you, who is it in the Republican Party that is stepping forward? We can't say as much regarding obviously the president is going to run for re-election. He's going to run for re-election.
I really think that your top two in the end are going to be, as with the current pool we have right now, are going to be Mitt Romney and Tim Pawlenty. I think Tim Pawlenty will be bringing the Midwestern, and possibly a lot of the South and the religious and the fiscal vote, while Romney's going to bring in the more of the establishment Republicans. I think it's going to be an interesting fight in the end to see who takes that.
What is it about Pawlenty that makes him a credible national candidate by the way of thinking of some observers, he just hasn't really scored yet. He hasn't done
Well, he's a blank
enough.
slate to a lot of people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. But
Unknown
you know,
quantity.
we've seen blank slates win before, and I think this time around it's going to be less about who the Republicans nominate and more about a referendum on the president. That's the way incumbent elections work. But you throw onto that, I think Pawlenty's well suited in that he's going to be. He's run strong. Even in a Democratic landslide in 2006, he won in a blue state in Minnesota. He's a popular governor there.
Yeah, but he has no name recognition.
Well, and that's the thing. But don't worry about name recognition right now because, like I said,
Well,
it's May 2011. You know, name recognition will increase and tick up as you go along. I'm not worried about that part.
Social issues. This matter of the transgender clownfish being taught in lessons in Oakland, California, near San Francisco. And you know that there will be an effort to bring that ideology to Texas. Will it happen?
It should not be done.
It should not be done.
It's ridiculous.
What do you have to do to teach tolerance then in American schools, in Texas schools?
Well, ethics, like the other guys that were here, we're talking about ethics in class.
Just ethics, huh?
Yeah, well, how you treat your fellow man. If you treat your fellow man correctly, the way Christians say you should, then you will do the right thing.
Are there enough classes already? Is there enough instruction for Texas school children when it comes to diversity, in your view?
Really, kind of a non-issue thing.
It's a non-issue.
You know, quite frankly, I'm scared of clowns.
Okay.
So the clownfish ain't doing anything for me.
Health class, maybe, or we don't even teach civics anymore, and that would be wonderful. You know?
Oprah Winfrey, in fact, scoffed at the absence of prayer in schools in her 42-minute monologue, saying goodbye to the American public. But some believes there need to be regular periods for Islamic prayers in Texas schools. What would be wrong with that?
If you open the doors to teaching religion, which religion are you going to teach?
What would be wrong with that?
We don't need sanctioned school prayer, endorsed by the school for any religion.
This is for the church and the home.
If you're talking about a small community that wants to have a prayer before football games, let them have it. You know, I grew up in a school where, we said we had a prayer over loudspeaker and it was student-led, and, they did their own thing.
But what if that offends somebody, Jeffrey?
They don't have to participate.
No, you're offending them, but
you don't
they're
have to
standing there being quiet.
It's optional.
Why is that guy over there being
quiet? And that's something we have to understand. We need to respect all religions and the exercise of those religions.
We need to respect all persons.
No, we need to respect the people who have the ability to exercise.
But what are we
religion is a private thing. It should be best done in private.
Interesting. As we move forward, a John Edwards indictment, is it appropriate?
No
because
problem.
it looks as if
he did wrong.
It looks as if the former vice
John
presidential candidate.
Is that new?
No, it's not.
It looks as if that he's going to be indicted.
As long as you put John Ensign in jail right beside him, I have no problem.
Misused campaign contributions to cover up the affair?
It's not about the personalities. It's about whether or not, justice is served.
If they broke the law.
If they break the law, they break the law, and I don't care which side you are, you need to go to jail. And there's a lot of people out there that, quite frankly, have gotten away with it in the past, and I think that's the message. If we take anything out of this, that we need to send, hey, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. Just go ahead and
both those guys.
John Edwards and John Ensign, both of them.
Oh, I see. Okay.
They're both, did wrong. They broke the law. They did wrong by their families.
I understand.
There's no defense.
Gentlemen, it's been interesting as always. It's a spirited fight here on Southeast Texas Weekly as always, and yet everyone walks away unscathed. Well done, gentlemen. As always, good to see you guys. We appreciate it.
Nice to see you.
And we appreciate you coming by as well to see some of the issues affecting Southeast Texans. We hope to see you next time right here on Southeast Texas Weekly. Take care until then.